Hey guys, it's Sam from Dodgers Debrief, and in this video, we're going to be checking out some of your trade proposals from Twitter. I couldn't get to all of them for timing reasons, but if you guys like this video, we can break down some more in a part two. So this video will focus on potential trades for players who are, apparently available this offseason and could fill needs on the Dodgers. So today's three that we're going to be looking at are Chris Bryant, Nolan Arenado, and Luis Castillo. So Cubs third baseman Chris Bryant has struggled and was mostly injured in 2020, but he's only 28 and has been generally good when healthy since his 2016 NL MVP season. He hasn't performed at that Rookie of the Year and MVP level since he's won the awards, but he's still a pretty good player. He hit 30 homers at least in 2019, and he can play left field in addition to third base, so there's a little bit of versatility there. So this first trade that we're going to be looking at would send Bryant to the Dodgers for Mitchell White, Andy Pages, and the Dodgers paying at least some of Bryant's 2020 contract. If we look at the package that the Dodgers would send the Cubs, it looks pretty fair, as Pages is a good power prospect and LA's 12th overall, and Mitchell White, who debuted in 2020, was pretty good and is the club's 9th ranked prospect according to MLB.com. So he would probably be ready to pitch for the Cubs next year. So they would probably like that, getting some major league talent back. I do think I would pull the trigger on this trade since the Dodgers' farm system is already loaded with pitching and strong bats. So White and Pages, while both likely to be good players, they might be blocked in the system pretty soon, especially considering how good the major league club is. Considering Bryant still has a lot of value on the trade market, I think this might get the deal done, even though he was terrible in 2020. So a similar trade proposal has Bryant heading to Los Angeles for Dodgers number 10 prospect Jacob Amaya and number 16 prospect Gerardo Carrillo. So Carrillo has potential to be a future late inning reliever, as his pitches have a lot of movement and he has a good fastball. But he's certainly replaceable in the system as loaded as the Dodgers' system is, especially with right-handed pitchers. And Amaya is an infielder with good strike zone command, and he has power upside if he can get the ball in the air a little bit more. But he's also kind of replaceable within the system, as the Dodgers have two higher-rated prospects in Cody Hose and Michael Busch, as well as Gavin Lux is likely to be very good and an infielder. So I'd make this trade as well, especially since the Cubs would be paying some of Bryant's contract in this deal. So our final Chris Bryant trade has the Cubs third baseman headed to LA for Jacob Maya again, a lower level prospect, and one of Mitch White and Dennis Santana. So Santana has pitched at the major league level and has been inconsistent since 2018, especially with his command. When he's on, he's pretty good. If we look back and remember, kind of hit his peak in that Astros game earlier in 2020 season. But I think White is a far better prospect. So given the choice, I feel like Cubs would want him in there instead of Santana. I'd certainly package him though with Amaya to send to Chicago, but I don't think that other prospect necessarily is needed, unless he would be a throw-in resulting from possible financial disagreements, as the Cubs would be paying part of Bryant's contract in this agreement. So now we'll move on to some trade proposals for a very popular trade candidate, Rockies third baseman Nolan Aronado, who, despite a down year in injuries in 2020, is still probably the best all-around third baseman in baseball. He tortures the Dodgers. I'd love to see him off the Rockies just for that reason alone. And he is, as all Dodgers fans know, a terrific hitter and a defensive third baseman. However, his contract is hefty and complicated with opt-out clauses, at least with the first of which at least being after next season. So it's pretty unlikely that the Dodgers would get him from the Rockies, in addition to, the Rockies wouldn't want to give their franchise player to the Dodgers. But, it's been rumored as a possibility, so let's take a look at how it could happen. This first proposal has Dodgers catching prospect and number 2 prospect overall heading to Colorado with some lower-level prospects for Aronado. So that catching prospect, Ruiz, is almost MLB ready, as he made his debut last year. If you guys remember, he had a home run in his first at-bat, and he's projected to be at least a competent everyday starter, even if not necessarily an all-star caliber player. But that's something the Rockies could really use, and an area in which the Dodgers have depth. They have a ton of catching prospects in their system. So I think this deal, could make sense. However, for 6 years of Arenado, the Rockies might want a little bit more, but I would make this trade. So this next package has Ruiz heading to Colorado, as well as with Mitch White again, Edwin Uceta, a pitching prospect, and the Dodgers' number 22 prospect overall. DJ Peters, who's a major league ready outfielder, and the Dodgers' number 11 prospect. And Luke Raley, who is, again, an MLB ready kind of fourth outfielder type. So this feels, a little bit much to give the Rockies for Aronado, especially if the Dodgers are paying most of his contract. I don't think Aronado, especially since he's almost entering his 30-year-old season and probably only has a few years of his prime left, is really worth 3 top 15 prospects and another top 30 prospect, along with some of those depth pieces. So it's close, but I would not make this trade. So now we'll move on to trades for probably the player that I would most want the Dodgers to acquire, 28-year-old Reds pitcher Luis Castillo, and he's one of the best young pitchers in the game. He's probably the best pitcher available through trades this winter, unless something really weird comes up. But and he would fit great on the Dodgers, slotting in as their number 2 starter behind Walker Buehler. His changeup is absolutely disgusting, and he also has a filthy 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and has been consistently, very good since coming up with the Reds in 2017. Although he did struggle a little bit in 2018, but based on the other 3 years of his career, that's a total aberration. So this first proposal has the Reds receiving Ruiz again, Santana again, Michael Grove, who's the Dodgers' 17th overall prospect and a right-handed pitcher, along with Jake Vogel, an outfield prospect and the Dodgers' 14th overall. While all these prospects alone are expendable within the system, the combination of them, I think, is a little bit too much for Castillo. If you add in, though, reliever Amir Garrett or third baseman Eugenio Suarez from the Reds, I think this deal would work. I'd make this deal, but I would probably remove either Grove or Vogel from it first. But, if it's the only way to get Castillo, I maybe pull the trigger on it. I have to think about it more. So this next proposal expands the deal, kind of a similar deal on both sides, but I do think it's well balanced. It adds Eugenio Suarez and Amir Garrett coming to LA, as I mentioned, for a similar package to the last trade, but it adds Edwin Rios and Tony Gonsolin, 2 mainstays the current MLB roster on the Dodgers, while throwing in kind of, your walk-prone but good when he's on ground ball guy Scott Alexander, a reliever. I might remove one of the prospects from the Dodgers or not send over Gonsolin, considering how he's really been good in his MLB career. But, this trade looks overall kind of big blockbuster, but pretty solid to me. I think I'd do this. So our final trade we're going to look at today, also for Luis Castillo, has the Reds receiving Ruiz again. He's been very popular in these trade talks, along with spring training home run hero, MLB-ready outfielder Cody Thomas, who is the Dodgers' 29th overall prospect, along with Juan Murillo, who's not a top 30 Dodgers prospect, so not worth a ton of consideration. This deal kind of just, an added depth piece who can help the Reds on their bench. So I would, I think I would make this trade as Thomas is blocked in the Dodgers' system, making him a reasonable addition to the package of kind of the already foundational package of Ruiz that all these trades have. So as always, thank you so much for watching and writing and suggesting trades. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below, what did you think of these trades? Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.